We have multiple Juan Soto to the Toronto Blue Jays updates to go over today as more and more reports are starting to surface revealing the timeline that Juan Soto is going to sign, as well as some new rumors that have surfaced just a little bit ago revealing a very interesting detail surrounding the Jays. And if it's true, it could change everything. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. And also, we are going live tonight at about 6:15 Eastern time. We're going to go live stream and breaking down all these new reports and rumors. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be Peter and myself on that stream. So thank you guys for continued support. And let's dive into it. There's a lot of things to go over today. A ton of Juan Soto reports are dropping, some regarding the Blue Jays, some regarding just the overall process of when Juan Soto is going to choose to sign with any team. And hopefully, of course, it is the Toronto Blue Jays. But some new reports have dropped. We're going to dive into it. There's also a rumor that dropped about an hour ago, and I'll show you guys. You can bear with me on it. It's very interesting and could have some huge implications. But let's start with this, and this dropped today. Offers for Juan Soto are expected to go through multiple rounds, a leak source tells The Athletic. The first round is expected to be preliminary, meant to gauge genuine interest from all parties. The following offers/rounds, which could start around next week, are expected to become increasingly more serious, weeding out candidates and seemingly point towards a winter meetings-ish decision timeframe, which is what Jeff Passan said, and winter meetings start December 6th, so in a couple weeks here. And again, we made a video on it a couple days ago, basically saying, or yesterday, that offers are supposed to be coming in this week. And then reports have come out over the past 24 hours, basically saying that there's already been offers from every one of the 5 major teams. So offers have already went down, and the Jays have already made offers. You can see this here from Randy Miller. This article broke last night and has gotten a ton of traction. He is a New York reporter. And then John Morosi also, I know, John Morosi, but he came back and confirmed it. So there's a couple things to go over here. The first thing you can see in the second quote, the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Dodgers, and Blue Jays presented contract offers to agent Scott Boras late last week. So the report that the offers were only starting this week was false, and which is very interesting, but it was false, and offers have already been given to the team. So which means that, again, the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Dodgers, but the Blue Jays have also presented an official contract offer to Juan Soto. So if you didn't believe they were a serious player, obviously they clearly are. And Soto is believed to be seeking a 15-year deal worth more than $700 million, which is something we'll get into in a little bit here. But now that you have that, again, the Jays presented the contract, and that's where this first kind of tweet comes from. So they presented the preliminary contracts, basically. And again, over the next week or two, you'll start to see, I'm assuming, some offers get leaked, like I mentioned yesterday, and you're going to start to see what teams are really serious about pursuing Juan Soto, because at this point, the Jays have offered a contract. All reports have said that, and that, again, it's a preliminary contract, but towards the end of this week into next week, they're going to start to get some of the more serious contracts where teams are going to start trying to outbid, whether it's Steve Cohen, whether it's obviously Hal Steinbrenner. Any of those guys are, of course, going to be in the mix fully for Juan Soto. So the situation is getting a bit crazier now because, again, we thought that they hadn't made offers, no teams made offers. This was going to be the week for that. When in reality, the whole time there's been preliminary offers on the table. And again, whether that's set numbers, whether that's kind of just this is how much we're willing to give you, let me know what other teams come back with, is still up in the air. But the Jays have officially made an offer to Juan Soto, which is honestly a pretty huge deal, quite frankly. And there's some more info here. There's a lot of reports have dropped. So the Juan Soto sweepstakes are down to 5 teams that have offers on the table. A person with knowledge of the situation told the NJ Advanced Media on Monday, so the New Jersey Advanced Media, the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, and Dodgers presented a contract to Scott Boras late last week. And when you're looking at some of the other teams here, and also going over the contract, I mean, 15 years at $700 million, that is a very high contract that would beat, of course, I think all signs are pointing to Juan Soto wanting his contract to be bigger than Shohei Ohtani's. He wants to beat Shohei Ohtani's contract, the record-breaking deal, and it seems like that's going to happen. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's video, if they want to give him a $750 million contract, that probably gets the job done, unless Steve Cohen comes out and doesn't want to get outbid, and then he's looking at a $775 million contract, and the bidding goes crazier and crazier. But at the very least, he's seeking a 15-year deal worth more than $700 million. And if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, all these guys, Edward Rogers, want to give a 15-year deal out? Probably not. That being said, they also know the implications this could have going forward and the ripple effect, the domino effect it could have not only on Juan Soto himself, but of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and all these other players. So it's a very intriguing time right now because it feels like the calm before the storm. We know once winter meetings start on December 6th, things are going to go down very fast. It's going to be one of the busiest winter meetings we've had in the last decade, really. It's going to be one of the most exciting times for everybody. And again, even if the Jays don't sign Juan Soto, there's going to be a ton of different players they're in on. We've heard Anthony Santander, we've heard Max Fried, we've heard Corbin Burns, all these different guys that the Jays are going to go after. But everyone's waiting a little bit for the Juan Soto domino to fall. And unlike last offseason with Shohei Ohtani, when it didn't happen until later in the offseason, it's going to happen sooner this year. And someone DM'd the reporter of this and got some more clarity. So numerous reports that the first offers are coming this week are not true. The next step will be negotiations between the clubs and Scott Boras. All 5 teams making offers met in Los Angeles last week with Soto, who was telling former teammates that he's enjoying the process. Soto is believed to be seeking a 15-year deal worth more than $700 million that Shohei Ohtani received from the Dodgers last season. Ohtani's contract was for 10 seasons with the most money deferred. It's believed Soto isn't interested in deferred money. So it's interesting here. You look at this, and again, take this with a grain of salt. It's not from the most reliable reporter. It is from Randy Miller, who he's gotten things right as a New York reporter. But this was also confirmed by John Morosi as well, which again, take that with a grain of salt after what happened last offseason with Shohei Ohtani. But it seems like he's enjoying the process, and the next step will be the negotiations between the clubs and Scott Boras, which is also what The Athletic confirmed, which leads me to believe that this is a fully valid report. And again, it's going to be at a point now where next couple of weeks during this offseason, things are going to start to get really interesting for Scott Boras for Juan Soto and of course Scott Boras, I guess, as well. And we know, again, they're interested in a bunch of players. They're interested in Anthony Santander, Corbin Burns, all these different guys. And it's just at a point now of whether or not the Blue Jays are going to go all in. And what a report dropped, or rumor, I should say, a couple hours ago from King Sarcasm. Now, if you were a part of the huge hype train last offseason for Shohei Ohtani and all these different things, you might recognize this name. Andrew Havoc. He predicted, I believe it was the Justin Turner and especially the IKF signing. And before it happened, I think we had a video on it. If true, this changes everything. A video, something like that last offseason. Basically saying, take this with a grain of salt. He hasn't gotten, he's not a fully reporter, but he predicted the IKF signing down to a T with the exact amount of years, the exact amount of money, with everything in the contract right. He dropped this an hour ago. He said, just spoke to my inside sources. I can 100% confirm that the Jays have offered Soto a contract. I can also 100% confirm that the Jays already made a second offer when Boras came back to them. Atkins and Rogers are 100% committed to signing Soto. So, again, take it with a grain of salt, but this guy was right all last offseason. I followed him closely. I'm not saying he's a reliable reporter, but he got things right before they were dropped, specifically the IKF signing. He was the first one on it with the exact figure, and that was something that not many fans at the time were really predicting at all. And again, we had a video on it. You can go way back and check, but he has sources clearly, and this is interesting. So if it's true, take it with a grain of salt. So A, they have offered Soto a contract, which is what we've heard from multiple reporters. But B, he said that they went back and gave him a second offer when Boras came back to them. So right now, it seems that they are really all in on Juan Soto. And you can see this here, Atkins and Rogers are 100% committed to signing Soto. And you think back to December 27, 2023, a close source has indicated that IKF has signed a contract with the Jays at 2 years, $15 million. This was him before, of course, and this was, I think, a day or two before, hours before the contract was officially signed. So I like to believe, I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt, but he was right last offseason, and I think he's going to be right again. And if he is right, this is huge because that means that they have 2 contract offers now on the table for Juan Soto. Obviously, they came back with a counteroffer, I guess, to some degree with Scott Boras, which would kind of line up with the Athletics report of gauging genuine interest, and now they're going to start with their following offers, which lines up perfectly with this. So take this with a grain of salt. Again, it's not a full report, but he's gotten things right in the past. So take it with a grain of salt and enjoy it as you will. But a lot of rumors are going down, and things are really picking up on the Juan Soto front, so we're going to keep you up to date. And again, we have a live stream going later tonight breaking down all of this, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.